Let's explain what are we doing right now, and talk about the date and the year, and also where we are and what is this thing that we are doing.
This is Karl.
This is Arn.
This is Musin, and explain what we're doing.
So, it's the 9th of December, 2025. That's the year, just for reference. And what are we doing, Arn?
Well, Christmas is flowing through the streets here in Denmark, and as Christmas are approaching, so we think that we should go out, enjoy friendship, and see what the Denmark Copenhagen kebabs, what they've got.
What's more Christmas than kebab in Denmark, right? Right, fellas?
I don't know, Musin. It's pretty Christmassy, I would say.
I agree.
So, we're going to roughly 15 places, maybe more, if time allows it. And we're going to test it all. We have a rating system where we rate the different categories: meat, bread, salad, dressing, amount, dressing quality, chili, vibe, the size in centimeters, the weight in grams, the price in kroner. If there's a toilet, that's an extra point. Then we have a total score, and finally a value for money to see, is it really worth it?
But why are we doing this? Well, what's the point in all this?
We are, of course, going to figure out what the best kebab place in Copenhagen is, so we can share this golden knowledge with our friends.
But what makes you competent? What makes you experts in this?
Well, I'm from the mean streets of Vesterbro. I've grown up in hardship, and I've grown up in, I would say, something of a mecca of kebabs. So I have had a lot of experience, in the lunch breaks at school. Went down, got a kebab.
So can we say that you know a thing or two in terms of kebab?
That would be an understatement.
What about you, Karl?
I have a family which always have seen food in general.
They're kebabs?
No, they're not kebabs, my family, but has seen food as like the highest thing there is. That's like
Higher than God?
Higher than God. We are not religious, but we are food-issues. We believe in food. Everything we do is about food. So I've been to plenty of very, very, very good restaurants, mind you. And I've been all around the world testing different types of food.
All around the world. How many cities or countries you've been in the world?
I think...
Don't think, just say.
70.
70?
Maybe, I don't know. But a lot. And food is like where my heart is. So I should know one thing or two things, at least.
And tell the world what your expertise is, Musin.
I'm Turkish.
So as you can see, we have quite a varied and expert field going on here with the judges today.
So that puts me the least at the bottom of the category, but at least I think I have an idea. All right, tell us where we are now.
We are naturally at Konya Kebab. That's our first stop. We didn't eat anything prior to this day, so we're all super hungry. That may boost the score just a little bit, but we have calculated for that, maybe.
So that's also taken into consideration.
Naturally enough. So we're here at Konya. Generally, the vibe is really nice. You can hear the music, the people talking in the background. It's a pleasant place.
What are your opinions, Arn, about this place?
I think this is a very, very standard, very standard kebab, Durum kebab. I think maybe it's a bit worse than the usual, but I don't think this is not impressive. But it is not outrageous.
Also, they have tea that we're sipping them right now, and that's also a positive. And there is an LCD TV with the fireplace going on, so that creates a cozy environment, I would say.
Definitely, the Christmas vibe we were looking for is here.
Definitely agreed.
You cannot get a Christmas kebab.
You can.
No, you cannot.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you cannot.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yes. All right. That's a wrap for the the first stop. Let's punch in the numbers and let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at Ankara Kebab. After one city, we are in a different city. We're in the capital right now. and we just had our kebab, and it looks good for Ankara kebab. What do you say, Karl?
I say we have to give notice to Arn thinking that Istanbul was the capital, but in reality it isn't. But what's most important is when we take a closer look, mind you, at the data, we can see Ankara comes in way higher than the former one at a whopping 75, and the meat at a 24, which is still way better than Konya. So it's looking really great for Ankara. We don't know how it's gonna look in the future, like if someone's gonna hit 100, I don't know, but it seems pretty good.
What do you think, Arn?
Well, this is definitely a big step up. A thing we noticed was that the bread is homemade here at Ankara.
Freshly
Yeah,
homemade, mind you.
freshly homemade. That's a big improvement. Got 10 from Musin and Karl. I didn't quite give it a 10. I thought it could be maybe a bit thicker. It's quite a thin bread, in my opinion. But the salad is amazing, and you have the chickpeas. They have other great stuff. So I really noticed the salad, and I really think that it does wonders for this. Makes a big difference for this döner dürüm.
Right. I'm gonna comment about the place though. It's a very tiny place. It's not as big as Konya. It's more like purely professional, just eat and go. And but the guy at the back of the counter, he's really friendly, and he allowed us to record. And the kebab itself, it's much better than Konya. That's for sure. As Karl pointed out, the bread is freshly made and it's really nice. It's really tasty. This is a pretty good one.
I'm just looking forward because Karl has been talking a lot about the next shop and the special meat. He says is amazing and probably the best meat he's had. So I'm looking forward to tasting that though.
What do you think, Karl? What do you say?
I'm looking forward to Star Midnight. I remember having a great time. I think I've had it once, but it was a unique meat, so let's see what happens.
All right, I'll also have to point out that there's no restroom in this restaurant. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to see you at Star Midnight. Right now, we're in front of Star Midnight Kebab and Grill, and we just had our kebabs and punched in the numbers. And I would like to have the comments of Arn.
So I think the place in general has kind of a weird vibe. It's cute enough. There's some nice, funny, quirky posters that I really like. But other than that, a bit weird of a vibe. So we go in, we order the kebab. We get it with lamb meat. Karl remembers it as really good and kind of a specialty. Well, first of all, we don't get it wrapped in like foil, so it's a bit difficult to cut up. When we cut it up, the whole thing is falling apart. We almost cannot eat this kebab. It's quite a challenge, and luckily we are so good at eating kebab that it's all right. But it definitely was not for the weak. So the kebab overall is a bit disappointing, I would say, and I think that Karl maybe wants to elaborate on that.
Yes, I remember this, especially the meat, as being quite delicious, quite spicy. Not in like a chili way, but just like spiced up with all sorts of fun things. And in this, there's clearly cardamom. We could taste that. And for Musin, it seemed like that was a little bit too much and out of line, out of order. But for me, I personally like it quite a bit. It was, though, a bit dry and not... It didn't have the same sort of as I remember it having. But... Still, I gave it a 7 because it is unique. It's with lamb. It's clearly made here. You can see the fat drizzling down, which is sort of good, but dry for some reason. So, I don't know.
Well, I think of myself as more of a traditionalist, man. And I think cardamom has no place in donut. And this, in my opinion, is unacceptable. It's a heresy, I should say. But... other than that, like Arn mentioned, there were the vibe, overall vibe is a little weird, and there was no space inside, so we're sitting outside. But that's okay. In a cold day, it might be a problem. But other than that, I think overall kebab, this is the third place that we are visiting, and I think this is the weakest of all the places that we have visited.
The score also reflects this. The Konya had a 46. This is at a 39. And a very low value for money. So that says something about the quality.
Also, the price was the highest. But I would like to end this conversation with one sentence: data never lies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are yet again in front of a new kebab place, and this time we're in front of Kebabistan. And we just finished eating, and you're crunching in the numbers right now. But let's hear from Arn. What do you think, Arn?
Well, this has always been a cultural significant place in Vesterbro for the people who like to eat kebab at Vesterbro. It is well known. My uncle, who lives in Fyn, in a city called Branderup in the middle of nowhere, when they came to visit us in Copenhagen, he and his son had to go down here because it's that famous in Denmark for having such good kebab. So this was exciting. Of course, I've eaten here for a long time, and I have mixed feelings, you know. Last time I tasted this, I actually didn't think it was that good. With some friends where we did kind of a very, very low budget version of what we're doing today. But today, I think it's much better. Still, I think we can actually get even better than this in Copenhagen. But definitely an awesome experience, and we could have long discussions about if this was better than Ankara or not.
Right. They also said that they had a tournament, or like they became the first in the tournament, or somewhat. I don't like a new newspaper. This newspaper named Kebabistan as the best kebab in Copenhagen. What's your comments on this, Karl?
So I've been here since I moved to Copenhagen roughly 10, 11 years ago. This was like our local Durum spot, so it also means a lot for me personally. I've been here countless times during the night, during the day, during the morning. So
Can we say that you both have emotional ties to this place?
definitely,
Yeah, but I'm not loyal to this place.
I'm a little bit loyal, therefore also a little bit biased. But that will be reflected in the in the score. But that's fair.
One question comes to mind: are you loyal to anyone, Arn?
No. And if I am, it's to Dürüm, and I know that that's not good. It's just you can put fries in it. And I usually eat this when I'm very, very drunk.
For the listeners, we're not drunk. We didn't have a drop of alcohol today, so all of the score yes, all of the scores that we're giving right now is based on our sober minds.
We are definitely sober.
I don't know if that makes it more credible, though.
I think it should. I kind of it should, but I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't tell you anything about what will you taste after drinking. But I would like to have some comments on the place. Their meat looks much better than the other ones, because all the other ones that so far they had ground beef formed into donut kebab shape, but this one definitely has slices of meat, which is the right way to do donut kebab. And that's all for now, and until next time. Oh, well, Karl has an important comment to make.
When we compare it to the other places here on Istedgade, we can also see it has the highest ratings in regards to meat. It's at a whopping 29.
That is amazing, Karl.
That is really high. Where the highest one was 24.5 for Ankara, which isn't that great. But 29, then we're up amongst the best in the...
So can we say that things are looking good for Kebabistan?
They are, but as of now, it's still Ankara who has the highest total score and the highest value for money. So maybe the place to go on Istedgade.
Well, we'll visit more places and give you the updates on that one, and let the kebab tournament continue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Pasha Kebab, and we just finished eating and crunching in the numbers as of now. On is entering his comments on the place, but overall, I would like to start with the cardamom problem. It is a repeating problem that we keep seeing happening in Copenhagen, Denmark. Unfortunately, there are some people who seem to be okay with it. I don't want to name names, but it's definitely Karl. I know.
Hate it. I don't hate it. I don't think you will get like a... I still think you can get a meat that is 6 out of 10 with cardamom in it.
That's a comment from a person who has no knowledge about donut kebab, obviously, because
different knowledge. I'm from the ghetto, from Vesterbro.
it's just bizarre to me to hear these words. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, but it's unacceptable from the ignorance of some people. I cannot. It's unacceptable. It's definitely truly. I'm out of words. But let's hear from Karl. Let's see what he's gonna spit out.
What do you think about the cardamom?
I think cardamom is a nice touch as a spice.
Fuck off.
I think it fits very well with the meat, and maybe it's culturally incorrect, and maybe it's racist. I don't know, but I think it tastes good.
So we are really discussing here behind the scenes if the cardamom problem is racist.
Well, it has nothing to do with race, but there definitely doesn't go well with meat. That's my honest opinion.
Well, that's a discussion
For later.
Well, anyway, overall, I would say that this the latest place is not gonna end up in the high in the rankings.
We definitely also just quickly have to mention that the paper stuck to the bread, and that I thought was way more unacceptable than the cardamom problem.
Right, that was a little bit of an issue with the paper and the bread, and it's in my honest opinion, it's unacceptable.
I agree. I think that will be the reason I will never come back here.
That's definitely gonna change. It's gonna affect score of the place. Definitely gonna really affect, and it doesn't look good, I would say, for Pasha kebab right now.
The rating is really hit by the bread as well. Very low score, where the other ones have been significantly higher. So,
Even though the price was fairly fine, it was one of the cheapest options. But if you're in low budget and you don't mind eating paper, maybe Pasha is your place.
lækkerier. Velkommen til Dilans Pizzeria.
Giv mig 5.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in Dilan's Pizzeria and kebab place, and we just had our donut kebab Dürüm, and we just crunching the numbers. They're on the computer right now, and let's hear the comments of the fellas here. What do you think, Arne? This is your home turf.
Well, this place has meant a lot to me. It was not actually my original go-to place when I was assigned on it. That was Sjælør and Kebab and Urger House, but that's shut down to a narcotics case. So then we went over here, and this was just much better in any sense. Then recently, not too long ago, maybe a year ago or something like that, they got new meat. And that meat revolutionized this place. It was incredible. With a rating of 4.4 on Google Maps, it's understandable that this was a must-visit place for the Dürüm Kebab tournaments. I'm not gonna lie, we all knew that this wasn't gonna win, maybe, but it's fun to see how this holds up against the biggest kebab giants in Copenhagen, and I think we were all very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, well, just when we're assessing the score here after the deed is done, we can see it's at a whopping 68. That's 3 below Kebabistan, which only came in at 71. So it's up there with the big dogs. We still have Ankara, even though we didn't think the Ankara meat was particularly delightful. Dilan's meat actually rates a little lower overall at a 23 compared to Ankara's at 24.5. So that's it for the weather.
All right, I am definitely surprised because I was from Arne's comments before. I was expecting a really bad taste, I would say, but it's is pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised, as Arne put it, and the vibe is really nice. The people who are the owners, they're really nice. They're really friendly. We feel welcomed here, and even though this is our sixth donut kebab, and I think this is one of the good ones. Definitely, it's up there. Even though it's not anything special, but it's a decent, very decent donut kebab. And if I lived around, I would eat here. Yeah. So all good vibes here, I would say. No.
There's definitely good vibes. And then now we'll head to probably the most well-known kebab area in Copenhagen, Nørrebro. So this will be very exciting.
Toot toot goes the Durum train.
Lækkerier. Velkommen til Dilans Pizzeria. Hiç böyle şey almadın ha.
All right, once again, we are at a new joint, and this is called what, Karl?
It's called Durum Bar 2000.
All right, we just had our doner kebabs, and we're putting in the numbers, and it is definitely a more less traditional in terms of the restaurant itself. It's more like a burger chain almost, but it's lacking that closeness. I would say it's more like corporate coldness to it. But the guy back at the counter, he was really nice. He's very friendly, talkative, and kebab. It's okay. It's decent. I would say it's not the best. It's not the worst. It's just bland, in my opinion. But let's hear it from Karl.
Yeah, I've been here before. I had their falafel, which was freshly made. That was super delicious. I really love the salad, but the vibe. You can hear the music, maybe. I don't know if this catches that. Either way, I love the music in here. So that's a plus for me. No.
Okay, yeah.
No.
All right, I was surprised to hear that. All right, let's hear your opinions, Karl. Arn.
Well, I think it's a pretty cozy place. There is a lot of stuff that I feel like the vibe is a bit suffering from, like the AI pictures and the very pop commercial music that's also a bit too loud. I feel like the salad is pretty good. Actually, it's the first time we've had red cabbage in it today, as far as I know.
We know that Arn is very giving high importance to red cabbage here.
I'm giving a high importance to syrligheden. I don't know how would you translate that. It's not the sourness, but like the
Acidity.
All right, yeah. You're right. I mean, it's a good part of the kebab. I would say it's giving a good taste. But overall, what do you think about the kebab?
I do not think it's good.
Right. Like, would you rate it higher?
I would rate it higher than Stam Midnight. I would rate it.
Like at this
I would also rate it higher than Pasha.
Okay.
But
like Pasha is
yeah,
really good.
but I would rate it lower than Konya.
Okay. All right. Let's see the numbers, Karl. What does the numbers tell us?
The numbers tell us. So if we take a look at the numbers quickly here again, we can see it comes in at a nice 51. That's a quite mediocre score. And if we compare it to the rest, we have the highest at Ankara at 75. But Konya, our original score, 46. So it does rate higher than Konya. It can have something with me to do, because if I'd voted like you guys, it probably would have been a little bit different, especially in the meat.
I would like to comment that this is a place suggested by Karl, and he is biased. He doesn't want to look bad at the end that he suggested this mediocre place.
I will say their falafel is super great.
But can you tell us, are we rating falafel here today?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Thank you. I have no other comments. Thank you so much. And I think we're done here, and we're gonna move to our we're gonna go to our next spot. And as you heard it from Karl, again, let's repeat it.
Not the best value for money?
Yes. Well, data doesn't lie, as we said it before. All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in our next spot.
I'm a little bit...
All right.
I'm actually also a little bit sad, because I thought this was a really good place. Yeah, I was just saying I'm sad. I had imagined this was like a really good place. and I'm shocked, first of all, by the result. But, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Can we say that you were let down?
Yes, I'd never been here, and I really had high hopes. So I maybe also forced it to be better when I ate it, when it actually was very much on par with Konya, for instance. Kösk, isn't that obvious by why I'm so disappointed? It's been appointed.
All right, let's cut it here, and we are right now at Kösk, which means palace or villa, whatever you want to call it.
How do you say that in Danish?
Villa. You say that that's the Danish way of saying it. You can hear it from my awesome Danish accent. But we are here. We just had our Dürüm and put in the numbers, and let me tell you something. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Even though this place had the lowest price for the Dürüm, which is 49 kroners, which is insane if you ask me. Pretty high value for money, but even then, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. What do you say, Aaron?
Well, I mean, the meat is controversial because of the cardamom, which we know Musen really doesn't like. And I have milder feelings too. I'm not that strict about it, but I still think you cannot get above a 6 if it tastes so much as cardamom. This got a 6 for me. I think the meat was the best part about this Dürüm.
And that says a lot about the place.
Yeah, exactly. It was dry. The salad was so boring. It was only like lettuce and a few tomatoes. No sauce, almost so dry. Actually, the best part was the quality of the dressing. The dressing, when you finally got a sweet drop of the dressing, it was really good. But there was almost nothing in it. So, yeah, I don't know. I will actually say this is definitely one of the worst ones. I think Pasha was worse. I also think Dürüm 2000 was worse, but that's like the most controversial one we've been to because of Karl's extreme rating of the meat.
For the ones who don't know, Karl suggested Durum Bar, and to not look like a loser, he gave a very high score for the meat of Durum Bar, which is absolutely bonkers if you ask me. But yeah, and this place is not going to be ending up on the top of the list. We can tell that by now, and it's not looking good.
I will, though, say when I'm looking here at the stats, for instance, I personally thought Durum Bar 2000 had better salad than Ankara, or at least on par, where it still scores like 4 points above at Ankara than at Durum Bar 2000, which I find deeply inappropriate. Nevertheless, the second thing I noticed, Kösk is the third worst. Then we have Pasha, and at last Star Midnight, which is just, it's controversial to say, but I think that's where we are.
Yeah, like we always say, data doesn't lie, and the truth has been spoken in terms of numbers. But at this point, the tiredness is settling in between the three musketeers.
Combatants.
Yeah, we are. I would say like everyone's getting a little tired, but also getting tired of eating. Not Karl is not getting tired; he's getting even better. But the food is not sitting well at this point. So I would say it's getting tiring eating.
And we have just reached halfway,
which is amazing that we still have a lot to go, and from now on, I believe it's going to be much harder to have an unbiased opinion on the quality and the taste of kebab. But I have to add that Kösk has not Kösk. What was this place? Yeah, it is Kösk. Yeah, Kösk. It's not Kösk. It's Kösk. Kösk has tea to offer, free tea, and that's a plus in my books.
I voted the vibe as like a 5, but now when they have tea, it should have been at an 8.
Right. Yeah. Well. we cannot change that. But yeah, so whoever comes here, be mindful that they have tea, so you can have free tea after a nice meal. A nice meal, I don't know, a meal, let's say. All right, it is cheap, yes. All right. All right, Karl is in the restroom right now, and while he's gone, we should talk about a serious topic. What do you say, Arne?
Well, I think it's kind of ridiculous with the Durum 2000 or Kebab Bar 2000 thing. First of all, he rated the meat a 7, which is insanely high. It was the driest meat. We have already talked about this, but we don't even mention is he rated the salad. It's the same quality that Ankara, which is unacceptable. There's something fishy going on. I think the rating of the Durum Bar 2000 is controversial. It's very controversial, but again, we cannot have such an experiment without controversy. And I think we could call it Kebab 2000 Gate, because yeah.
At this point, we don't have any proofs, but it's obvious that whoever who has his right mind would not rate Kebab Bar 2000's meat at 7, which is just bonkers. You have to be biased somehow. You have to maybe. I'm not like pointing fingers here, but there is maybe some shady transactions happened before this, because Karl was the one who suggested that we have it on our A list, which is, I don't know, A list is just for the best of the best, and he was really adamant to have that place in the list, and now giving a 7 to the driest meat in the world. I don't understand it. I cannot put it into words.
It is really difficult to comprehend. It is really difficult to comprehend what's going on.
We're not gonna leave it at that, and we'll know more about it later, and definitely shine light to this controversy.
Yeah. We'll get to the bottom of this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in front of Kebabbro right now, and we just had our kebab, and crunching in the numbers as of now, and let's hear the comments of Arne.
I can already tell this is another controversial one. Nothing compared to the 2000 thing at Frederiksberg where Karl went batshit insane, but it's still very controversial because we disagree a lot on the what can I say, Musin. Really don't like it. I think it's above average, but not that much. And Karl really enjoyed it. So here, the final score does not really reflect that much, other than our combined. I mean, numbers don't lie, right? That's what we always say here on this tour. But I think this is a weird, controversial case.
Well, I guess we don't have to agree on every stop or every simple detail about the kebab, but I can tell you that this is not my favorite place.
You can definitely say that this is a polarizing kebab,
to say the least. Okay, Karl, what do you think?
I just feel sad that we can't agree on something. I know taste is very subjective, but I think we should be able to agree on like roughly where we are, but we're very different places, and it's a little bit sad that we can't.
Except the Durum Bar that Karl went berserk and gave ridiculous numbers. I think we were on the same line with all the other places except this place. This place is like definitely very low for me, but.
So 1/4 of all the places we've been.
No, this is the
very
8th place. No, this is the
No.
9th place.
9th place?
Yeah, this is the 9th place. So.
Wow, we gotta celebrate it in some way, I think.
With the more than I kebab.
That would be suitable for the occasion, but I was thinking something else.
Anyways, this is definitely a place we would recommend to visit to kind of get a sense of what do you feel about this kebab, because this is a weird one. It is polarizing. Maybe you love it, maybe you hate it, but definitely it's interesting. We can say that at least.
Right, yeah, definitely it's polarizing, that's for sure. Well, you have to make your own mind for this place, because we all have different opinions, because it's like Karl said it's a great place, Arne said it's an okay place, and I say it's a really low one, on the low end. But it's also playing Arabic music, which is fun, I would say. But it's a really tiny place inside, so there's no restaurant, and that's just like a takeaway almost. And yeah, keep it in mind.
I think if you have a Turkish culture background and are used to some very different durums, then this is not a place for you.
Let me rephrase it. If you know what dürüm should taste like, dönat should taste like, not different opinions. This is not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of facts. So yeah, let's put it that way.
Always remember, numbers don't lie.
Exactly. I can't not lie. Yeah, all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Kösem Kebab restaurant right now, and this is the one and only. Yeah. I don't even know the name of the street, but we just had our donut. It's a little on the light side, I would say, but that's a good thing. That's, in my opinion, it's not a negative. Especially at this time of the day, that this is the 10th donut. The size was 26. Yeah, 26. Yeah. All right. Now I'm very satisfied with the donut, because it's even though this is the 10th one and I'm like 110% full, I still enjoyed it, and let's hear from the other guys. And also we have a guest, and we'll come to him later. Karl, what do you think about this place?
I just ate one of the chilies, which was really hot. So what I think, this is actually, maybe if it's not as good as Ankara, it's better. I really like it. The meat, it's what I would think is more traditional, and it sounds like that's resounding with musen. More like cinnamon in the spice mix, and not any cardamom, and it's not like lamb. It's just a nice warming spice mix, and the meat is very tender and juicy. Yeah, exactly. Not dry at all like the other places. So I think even Kebabistan have a little bit dry meat. I think this is maybe the best it gets in Copenhagen as far as meat goes. The bread, subpar, or a little average. The salad is good. I saw they had other things, but we couldn't add it due to the legitimacy of the contest otherwise. But I saw they had some extra chilies and whatnot you could add. Yeah, naturally got a high rating.
All right, let's hear from Arne.
Let's see what it gets.
My boy Arne, what do you think?
I am not that impressed with this place, and I think I'm the one dragging the ratings down. I think the meat is fine. I think it's pretty okay. I think it's a 7. That's pretty high for me to give a 7.
You just gave 6 to Kebabbro, which is
so much worse.
It's heresy, I would say.
Yeah, well, I'm not too keen on this flavoring.
Fuck you. That's what I said.
If you don't,
I'll take that back.
If you don't like cardamom in it, if you don't like this spicing, do you even like meat?
Exactly.
I think it's really important that when you differ in opinion, you speak really politely.
This is not an opinion. You're just simply wrong. All right, but wait, do you have any other comments?
Yeah, this was just the start. It was not exactly much. I think when Karl said the kebab was exactly the right amount of juice, I would say no, it was not. They just overused the dressing, way too much dressing in this one. But it was a good dressing. The salad was fine. But I just think it needed a bit more diversity in the salad, you know. The bread was not that good. I think this is a really good kebab, but I do not think it is better than Ankara. I do not think it's better than Kebabistan.
Okay, that's a hot take, I will say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Philippe, our good friend, here with us. A little applause for him. Yeah, thank you.
Warm welcome.
Welcome, Philippe. How are you? How you doing? And what do you think about this place overall?
Well, gentlemen, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I just appreciate all the work you put into this, the science behind it. It is thought out methodology from start to finish. I'm just gonna say I'm also a little disappointed. Now that comes with the context that I did not have a kebab. I had a falafel. But I ran here. I thought I was going to work up an appetite. The whole way I could just picture this juicy falafel, succulent falafel going down my gullet. And I got to say, it was dry as fuck. It was so dry. I'm going to leave the rest to your imagination. It was very dry. And I had to ask for extra spice, which I guess I just learned was against the rules. It would have been awful without the spice. That was the only thing that got me through it. I'm not looking forward to the run home. It's a disappointment. I'm going to keep my head down and just tough it out. But thank you again, boys, for having me. I appreciate it. And for those of you listening who've made it 10 stops into this probably very long podcast, God bless you. Good night.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your opinion. It really means a lot to us, your support and your comments. Can we say, in your opinion, that this place might be a good option for kebab and not falafel?
Sure. I would never come back here.
Thank you, Philippe.
I have just one final question for you. In regards to us, how do we seem? It's difficult for the audience since they don't know how we look, but just how do we seem in general to an not outsider, but someone that comes from and looks at us with a different
view? Yes. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Y'all seem in good spirits. I gotta say, for this deep into the race that you are, the mental strength is what's going to carry you home. I can tell that the bodies are starting to break down. We're taking longer breaks at each stop, needing fluids to rehydrate ourselves. Arn has that kind of mile, deep look in his eyes. He's just staring into the future, into the void. This man may have met his maker, but he's not a quitter. I know that. I know his character.
What I realized from Arn, in the last few stops, he started making weird accusations about meat, and he's been given some weird scores. Actually, to be honest, I don't know how these points are going to affect the final result. But I advise. Just a second. I advise the listeners to keep an open mind, that he is tired and I think he has been struggling for some time, even though he doesn't show it.
You gave the meat 9, right?
I gave it 9, and not 9, 8.
Okay, 8. And Karl gave it what? 9. And I gave it a 7. We are not too far from each other right now. Let's not compare this to any of the other gates that Karl has put out here. It's Karl doing the Reglan's numbers. Karl doing the Reglan's numbers. I am one below you, Musen, in the quality of the meat here.
I'm the only one who I needed to finish off Arn's Dürüm because he couldn't finish it, just to complete the competition.
But also that also says something about Arn's situation.
That's not true. He didn't have to. Karl offered, "Hey, should I finish off for you?" And I took his offer.
Okay, I don't want to get involved in this discussion anymore, and I think we're done here for the time being, and we're gonna move on. We are in high spirits. All right, Arn has that other thing to add.
We're actually not done. Let's talk about the numbers.
Yes.
So,
all right, let's do that. What does it look like for Kösem in the list, Arn?
So we actually have a pretty high total score of 69.
Very nice. Very nice. I like it.
And almost 70, 69.9. And we have definitely the highest value for money we see here.
Ooh.
That is amazing.
No,
That's an
actually
amazing point.
Not. If we look up here,
Arn, can't you read? Fucking hell.
I did not know there were more pages.
I did not have sexual relations.
I think we can definitely see here that Ankara still definitely has a higher score, but not too much because Ankara still only has 75. So they're really close. It's definitely my fault that this is not at least higher than Kebabistan. I don't think it would be higher than Ankara either.
Well, he's definitely dragging this place down, but let's see. Well, let's see what future holds for us, and we'll meet you in the other places. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in we are in Dürüm Symfoni right now. You can tell from my my voice that it's getting tougher and tougher every single joint. And we just had our donut, and they actually they did not accept cutting the dürüm into 3 pieces. They said it will ruin it. Well, we did it anyway because we're some rascals here. Yeah, and just had it, and I think, according to the data, we have a new leader. And it's Durum Symfoni. And I do not really share the same opinion with these 2 people. I don't want to put other words into this. Definitely don't share the same opinion. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's great either. I don't think it's better than Kösem. Kösem was definitely much better in terms of meat. But, well, here we are. Here we are at the end of the day. Right. Well, let's hear from these people who have clearly no idea about doner kebab or anything for that matter. Let's hear from them anyway.
Well, I think that the meat was as good as with Kösem.
Okay, your opinion doesn't mean anything.
It means a lot. I represent, the street people from Vesterbro that have grew up on kebab, right? So, I mean, I think definitely the meat could use a bit more of a punch, but I like the flavoring that the meat had more than I like the flavoring that the meat had at Kösem, for example. Other than that, I think that everything around the meat, the salad, the dressing, the bread, was very, very exceptional. And I think that's why it has gotten such a high rating from me.
No, I'll have to agree that the cross section of the dürüm, it really looked good. It looked juicy. It looked really well balanced. I cannot deny that. My only disagreement is that the meat or the overall dürüm, it lacked the punch that I'm looking at. And dürüm, just everybody has their own opinion, I guess. Let's hear it from Karl.
Again, this is one of the places I already knew I really liked.
That's why I think Arn and Karl made their opinions before stepping foot into this joint, and that's why I think it's like the results that we see here is a little biased.
I would also say some of the other places I rated the meat like a 7, where this is definitely better. So
well, obviously it's better than Durum Bar. I mean, come on, if you rate Durum Bar 7, of course this has to be better.
I agree. Durum Bar was insane.
But what I'm saying is this had to be better, so it had to get at least an 8. So it got the 8. The other things surrounding the Durum were magnificent, and I just advocate for this place because they have proper meat, they have proper ingredient, and they make everything themselves, which you really can taste. The meat, though, is the low light.
I like the bread. I cannot lie.
I think Musin cares more about the meat than we do.
Well, obviously that's the most important part of the. Are you implying something here?
No, what should I be implying? Musin likes meat.
Go on, I'm a married guy with a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Well, anyways, at least I think that we more like I focus a lot on the salad, for example. So I think that's why woke. It's
because he eats carrots for lunch. For the ones who listen to this podcast, And then his lunch is carrots, just carrots, like 10 carrots in a row. So like, I mean, that should tell you something about Arndt's choices.
Or pasta with ketchup.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I'm questioning at this point of the day. I'm questioning the credibility of Arndt's scores in this Dürüm tournament. But at this point, I think I don't think we can go back.
I think this lands at a very fair place, because when we compare like the different stats or the ratings, the bread here was significantly better than, for instance, Dilan's or some of the other ones. It was better. It's the highest rated bread. The salad, one of the highest rated. But Ankara is better stat-wise, which we all agree on. Then we have dressing amount. That was pretty high here. And it was even... Oh, it's a little lower. Nevertheless, everything looks good here. And everything suits what I think. Like, it makes sense to me.
Because you planned this all along, I would say. But overall, it's a decent place, and we have to also consider that we are getting towards the limit of our stomachs here, all the humanly available. What's humanly available? But
We have one more very exciting place left that could make the difference.
It's the last few seconds of a basketball game that can change everything. It's the same goes here, and maybe we'll have a new winner or not. We'll figure it out.
See you next time.
But let's before that, actually let's hear from you guys. Like, how do you feel?
I kind of hit the wall some kebabs back, but that was like 5 kebabs ago.
Where was it he hit the wall?
I think it is in there someplace.
At Durum Bar 2000 already that big. At Durum Bar 2000, Arne already began having like proper food blackouts, and coma.
I think I've just kind of stopped listening to my body, so I'm in it to win it, baby.
All right. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're gonna meet you in Killer Kebab. We are in a Killer Kebab joint, and what happened was we went to another one, and that one was closing up. They didn't have anything left, and we were really devastated because we were not really we were really counting on this one because we heard it was good. And we were really sad about it. But then we checked on Google Maps, and we found another one that was still open. And then Karl called them, and they said, "Well, we can save one for you." And thanks to them, we had one. And then they saved one for us. And we biked here very fast in the rain, and that was really cool. And it would have been great if this was the best place. You know, that would have been a great end to our Copenhagen Kebab Tournament. Like after biking all the way here in the rain, that would have been a great end. You know, very dramatic end. But obviously, it's not the case because it was not very. It was not very good, in my opinion. Some people liked it. I don't want to name names. Some people liked it, but the main problem, in my opinion, is the meat again, with a lot of cardamom. And cardamom is a spice that is very, very, very strong spice that it overwhelms the taste. And I don't know. It's very. It's because of Karl, obviously. What do you say, Karl?
It's at a 59, which I think is actually fair.
I think it's way too high, too.
Yeah. I think it's I rated this very low. There were a couple of ones in there. There were a couple of, I think the highest was the meat. I gave that a 6 because it was nice that it wasn't like big chunky real meat bites. I don't necessarily think it's not that I hate the cardamom flavor. I just think that it kind of overrules everything else. Yeah, and it kind of stops the meat from having potential. And also it was very dry. There was no dressing in my part. The salad was horrible. I think that this was a very, very, very bad.
With all due respect, I think this place is a little hyped, and it doesn't match the hype.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a bad thing. Like, if this was, like, if let's not say this even was a hyped place, I will still think that was a bad dinner.
I would just say, even though I could enjoy it, I see that, but I wouldn't buy it again because it's not worth the money, not at all.
I would not pay 50 kroner for this dinner.
And for your knowledge, it's 95. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to us, tuning in to Donut Kebab Tournament, the ultimate Donut Kebab Tournament. And I believe this is the end of our journey for now, at least. And we're going to share the list with you and maybe record some more over the data and put it all together. All right, thank you so much, folks. And do you have any last comments?
It has been a mixture of very pleasant in this nice company and very unpleasant due to the extensive eating of Dürüm.
It has been an incredible journey.
It truly has been. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain really quickly what we're doing right now. It has been a week since we've done the Durum Kebab Tournament, and we're meeting today, me, Karl, Arn, to talk about the data and actually just wrap things up, tie the loose ends. And then we're going to make our own personal lists. We're going to talk about the final results. Are we happy? Are we not? And the controversies about some issues, I would say. All right, fellas, what do you think? Let's start with Arn. What do you think, Arn? Overall, how was the tournament for you?
I feel like the tournament went really well. I think we definitely visited some relevant places, some good places. What I figured out was that you, Musin, as a Turkish person and a kebab expert, have different, what can I say, I want to say like different criteria for what a good kebab is than Karl and I. And that you can see in some of the scoring points that we have, right? Where Karl and I value some things higher than you do, and that gives kind of a weird picture of what really the best kebab is. And that is why I think that this meeting is very important to wrap up this podcast, so we kind of can nuance the data and really explain what it means, because it's not as simple as saying a Dürüm Symfoni is the best kebab. Right,
I totally agree. But let's quickly mention that how did we come up with this list, and the listeners would know, that we didn't choose random places. Would you elaborate on that?
The way we actually found the list, it was first of all a mix of Musen's originality, genius, and creativeness. He came up with the idea of the Dürüm Championships in general, but then he sent out this message, I think, to the PE Carlsberg group, that they should add their favorite Dürüm place. We took a thorough look through their different places. Some were far away, some were close but awful, so we neglected those. And then we chose some of our own favorite most preferred places. And those we went to. And we had the initial plan to go to 15 places. We only made it to 12, or only is saying something, but it was so difficult eating 4 kebabs in roughly 8 hours. you wouldn't believe how hard it was.
So it actually was a challenge for ourselves as well, because we could have done this over a week, but we just did it in one day, one after another. So that was the challenge. That's why, of course, it doesn't have a lot of different kebab places. We've been to only 12, but I think we covered a big chunk of the important places in Copenhagen. For the ones who don't know what PE is and what Carlsberg is, it's just where we work. And we asked our colleagues to suggest a place, their favorite kebab place. All right, we should start looking at the data and maybe making sense of what we have. Quickly, can you recap what is the list right now? Like, what is the highest ranking places in the list and lowest ranking places?
Wonderful. So we have a look at the data. On the list, we've, of course, weighted the different ingredients in the Dürüm differently, depending on how important they are. For example, the meat is weighted the highest because that is the most important. The bread, the second highest, then the salad, and so on. And the maximum amount of points in the total score department is 100. And that is if everything from all of us three is absolutely wonderful and they have a toilet. But getting into it, when we look, first of all, on the most important ingredient for most people, the meat, then we go to Kebabistan. They get the highest score at 29.17. And compared to the second closest one, that's at a 28 over at Kösem, was Musin's personal favorite, I think. I'm a little unsure, but that was more traditional Turkish, where Kebabistan was just pure godly niceness. And after Kösem, the highest we have is actually 25.6. So we take a drastic step down from there. So these are like the two highest, and Kebabistan definitely the best one there.
Right. If we're highlighting meat in these doner places, Kebabistan would be my personal favorite, and Kösem would come close second. So I have nothing against this. But what do you guys think? Like, how are the results?
I think it makes a lot of sense. When comparing to all the other meats, the Kebabistan is just the preferred one.
Right. What do you think, Arne?
Well, I think definitely meat-wise, Kebabistan is by far the best. I would like to reference what we said earlier when we just started the Zoom call, that a guy at Ankara told us that in Turkey, sometimes there's not much salad, there's not much anything else than meat and bread because they're just so good. And I think maybe that for, people who are used to the Vesterbro and Copenhagen Kebab, for us, salad dressing is much more important maybe. So I think the thing about Kösem, because I didn't like that very much, was that there was missing some salad or some dressing. I think Kebabistan, the meat is very good, but I think Ankara, for example, is better because it just has better salad, better dressing and stuff like that. So I think meat-wise, Kebabistan is definitely the best, but I also think that maybe that's where, the diversity in our group gets. Also, I want to mention, at Kebabistan, they said that they make their own meat, a mixture between, what was it?
Mutton and beef.
So they definitely put a lot of effort into their meat, and you can definitely taste that.
Secondly, most important, the bread. And there, it's quite a coincidence, but I think it's very nice, is that Ankara and Dürüm Symfoni both rated the highest at 16.33. And that is because they both had homemade bread. So they were both just below the maximum amount of points. And that just tells you their bread is really good because they make it freshly. They roll out the bread and put it on the stove looking thing, and it just tastes heavenly. So next stat, I think here we have to highlight Ankara, which was the clear, or actually not that clear, but clear favorite still in salad, because they end up with 14.58, where the second highest is Dürüm Symfoni, which gets a clean 14. So still half a score point higher, but the second closest is at 11.67. So they're still quite a far ways down. So that just tells you something, that these two places have excellent salad, and especially that Ankara had a superior one.
I wanna comment on that because to me, I think the salad was very important because typically, at least in Copenhagen, I'm used to salad filling most of the dürüm. Typically, that's most of the dürüm, right? And I think at Ankara, the way that they have the red cabbage, they have the onion, which also puts some kind of parsley. They have a really, really good, diverse salad, which I thought was just very, very important. And I actually think that it kind of does Ankara injustice how close Dürüm Symfoni are to them. Yes. Because I think Ankara was so much better salad-wise than Dürüm Symfoni.
I would actually agree.
Yeah.
So, as Arne pointed out before, for me, salad is not as important as the other categories because we don't really, in Turkey, we don't really give importance to salad as much, and we don't want a lot of salad in our dürüm as well because it makes it it's like a cheap trick to lower the price of kebab. And if your meat is good enough, if your bread is good enough, you don't need anything else. And I think I've tried to keep an open mind. Maybe I drag the results a little bit down because of that. But I've tried my best to keep an open mind and give a good score to all the good places with salad. But I cannot go against Ankara and Dürüm Symfoni. They were really good in terms of salad.
So moving on, we're going to dressing amount. The overall winner in that department is Kebabistan. Excellent amount of dressing.
I think that's really true because, again, some places use too little dressing. Kill a kebab. And some people use way too much, right? And then it's just get fatty. It's a cheap trick to make it kind of good, but not
moist. Yeah, to cover your bad dry meat, to moisten it and cover the taste of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cheap trick. I think Kebabistan did it really well because it was not dry. And dressing's most important job is to make it not dry, but it shouldn't dominate the flavor. And actually, I think quite a lot of places did it really, really good. I think half of the places had pretty much the right amount of dressing.
It also looks that way based on the stats. Like some places like Kösk, they had the lowest score at 1.67. I can't remember if it was way too much. I think that is how it was because I remember it as like almost a little bit wet.
Yeah, so overall their kebab was not good, and I think everybody agrees on that.
Yeah. All right, so then we have the chili. And again, this is where it got controversial, but the chili doesn't account for too much points because as far as I know, again, a dürüm shouldn't be spicy. And I don't know...
Some people don't even add chili to their dürüm.
Yeah.
It's an option, so it shouldn't weigh the highest.
But should you use chili in a dürüm, Musin? What is your take on this?
I'm open to it.
But, again, he's from Adana, the spicy place in Turkey.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I'm open to it. I don't judge it if anybody doesn't use it, so that's fine. And I don't think it weighs a lot in the score, the overall score. And but if there is a good chili, that's an extra point in my books at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah. And again, here we see the ones who have the best chili, Dilan's pizzeria.
I remember it as being good. Like, I don't know exactly why, but I remember it as being good.
Yeah, but then again, it doesn't really matter too much. We also have Kösem, and we have Kebabistan as well, having good chili. And I think, and I think that just again supports that Kösem, Kebabistan, good places, has a good balance, and it just supports the meat, right?
Also, like, if everything is well balanced, that means that the other things are also accompanying. You know, like chili is accompanying the salad and the meat. You know, so if they're overwhelming, then they would get a lower score. You know, it's like if you know places that do things good, they do everything good.
Yes,
that's generally the thing. Kösk, again mentioning it, We asked for chili. We got chili in it, I think, at least, but we really couldn't taste it, so it got the lowest possible score at a 1.
Yeah.
Just mentioning that. Maybe that chili is just so weak.
All right, then we have the vibe of the place, which again doesn't score that high, but it is important because you want to have a good feeling when you get a kebab, right? That's important, but not that important, of course. So we have by far the best ranking place, of course, is Dilan's Pizzeria. Doesn't get any better than that. Mr. Dilan, as we call him, even though it's wrong because Dilan, we found out was a woman's name, just has such a good vibe. I've been going there for like 4 years. They know me by name by now, but they're just really sweet people. Musin, you can attest to that, right?
Definitely, they're really nice, and I think that added to the vibe. So they welcomed us with open arms, and I don't know. That's what the data shows.
Yeah. And then the worst place we can just mention is Star Midnight. That guy, he was nothing against the guy, but it was just like a weird place.
Yeah, not very warm. Right. So, but I think that there are things that we have to mention. For example, the problem with the paper sticking to the bread at Pasha, which it was a big issue. We'll have to address that, and I think one of the most important things that we didn't talk about, or maybe it should have been actually a factor in this tournament, is Dürüm's integrity. I remember Star Midnight being terrible. I think one of the best one was Dürüm Symfoni, because even though they asked us not to cut it into 3 pieces, it looked great. Nothing fell, and it kept itself really good. Any comments on that?
Definitely. I think it's difficult to remember in detail, but some important lowlights and highlights, I think is difficult. Is important to mention. So yeah, definitely Pasha was by far the worst.
Yeah. You couldn't eat it.
Pasha, yeah.
The paper stuck onto the dürüm, and that meant when you tried to take off the paper, you broke the dürüm, which meant you broke the entire experience.
Also, this is kind of reflected in the score, but not as much as it should be. I would never visit that place again. By far, I would rather go to the lowest rank of our data than Pasha, and that is because of the paper thing. It ruined the entire thing for me. I will never visit again.
We actually rate this as the bread. The bread is rated at a 2.3.
Yeah.
There as the way, like by far the lowest. There's like 5 up to the next.
Yeah, but the bread doesn't count for that much in the general rating, which I think is good. But in this case, it was so bad that I think that's really important to mention. Also, as you said, the Star Midnight, the whole thing fell apart. We couldn't do anything with it. That's annoying when you're trying to eat a dinner and the whole thing falls apart. And then, as you said, Dürüm Symfoni was just very beautiful. But I think in general, actually, the Dürüms were pretty well made and solid.
Yeah, they were really well wrapped.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's mostly Star Midnight. I think Pasha was important to mention. Don't go there.
Right. One comment about Konya is because they said they're famous for their shish kebabs and other kebabs. Shish kebab is a kebab on a skewer and not on a spit, and it doesn't rotate like dürüm. So they said they're famous for shish kebab and Adana kebab, and not for dürüm. So this is a dürüm tournament, so we have to mention that. 2 places had tea. I think we have to highlight that.
Yes.
Konya and Kösk, which is pretty nice in my opinion. More places should have tea, because why not?
Exactly.
They ought to have tea. And ought, funnily enough, means horse in Turkish.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
We do actually have some different categories. Aren't particularly important. We haven't done anything with it, but it's just fun for you guys to know. One of them is size in centimeters. And that one, we can maybe mention the longest and the shortest one. The longest one was Dilan's Pizzeria at a whopping 29. That man is packing something. I'm telling you. And the shortest one is a whole 10 meter. No, not 10 meters. 10 centimeters.
10 meters shorter.
10 centimeters shorter at 19 centimeters. And that's actually a total winner, Durum Symfoni. Only 19 centimeters. Quite short. For a Durum, mind you. For a Durum.
Yeah, very very different. But also the bread there was handmade, so that probably influences the size.
Yeah. The weight, that's fun. The heaviest boy out there, it's Kebabbro. It's 675 grams. Whereas the lowest weighing kebab out there is Star Midnight, the horror show for the night, at a mere 423 grams. So more than 200 grams lighter. And the price is basically the same. Star Midnight is almost 10 kronos more expensive.
All right.
Star Midnight is quite expensive and is not tasty. The wrap was falling apart, and it's very, very weak.
I'll also do a quick value for money wrap up just quickly so you can get an idea. So value for money, the top score is Ankara actually. Ankara has the highest value for money. Then it is Durum Symfoni, and then it is Kösem. So if you want value for money, these are the top 3 places to go. And again, here is important to mention that by far the worst one was Star Midnight. And then it was actually Killer Kebab, which was just very expensive, very dry, not that good. Although, again, we have to mention we got the last Dürüm of the day. So probably it could have been much better. We have to be clear on that. So don't kill us if you like Killer Kebab.
But we should go to the total score. Because we haven't mentioned that at any point,
Yeah.
right?
Let's start by mentioning the top 5 total score. And then let's do our personal top 5.
Wonderful. So, in the total score department, the ultimate winner of the Durum Kebab Tournament Challenge 2025 is Durum Symfoni! Durum. So, the Durum Symfoni is the winner, but not by much. It comes in at 76.53, whereas the second closest is Ankara at 75.38. So they're like 1 point apart, and that could be determined by one place having a toilet and the other not. So it's really not that important in regards to the Durum itself. Yes. But number 1, Durum Symfoni. Number 2, Ankara. Number 3, Kebabistan. Number 4, Kösem. And at a 5th place, which is very lucky for Arne, we come with Dilan's Pizzeria. Not even called a Durum place, Dilan's Pizzeria.
But it is very good. Also, we have to mention here that this, even though this reflects, the combination of all 3 experts' opinion, this maybe does not showcase a nuanced picture of what the best kebab is. And that's, I think, therefore, it's very important that we have our definitely biggest kebab expert, Musin, tell us his thoughts on what would be his top 5, then Karl, and then maybe myself, to kind of give you a more nuanced picture into what we actually think of these places. So, Musin, I really want to hear from you what you think about this.
All right. Even though I don't think Durum Symfoni is a bad place and it doesn't have a bad Durum, I don't think it deserved to be the best. But we've been saying the data doesn't lie, and turned out it does lie because it's not true. The best kebab in my opinion was Kebabistan, and the second one would be Kösem, which was it really I was really surprised after so many bad kebabs. And Kösem was like one of the last ones that we tried, and I really liked it. And that would be my second. If I can make them, both first, I think that I would do that. And the third one would be Ankara, and the fourth one would be Dürüm Symfoni. So I would place Dürüm Symfoni at fourth, and the fifth one, I don't think it matters, because they are these four. They are in a different category, and all the other ones are in a different one.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm a little bit conflicted because I actually think, of course, it depends on what you are there for. If you're there for the good meat, you're in a meat craving, go to Kebabistan. That's the place to go. If you're there for having a good dürüm, where it doesn't matter if you choose the falafel or if you choose the kebab, go to Ankara or Dürüm Symfoni. Because you'll get an excellent kebab either way. So for me, meat-wise, Kebabistan number one, if I'm having a dürüm shawarma, what do you want to call it? And if you're
Kebab.
a kebab. And if you're going for a falafel or kebab, go for Ankara or Dürüm Symfoni. And Kösem, I liked it quite a lot. The meat was spiced differently, which I really like. The thing is, the salad felt very flat for me. It was plain boring, but the rest was very good. And lastly, like Dilan's, it's very good. Not much to say there.
All right. I would love to explain my view of this, actually. I think I agree with the official top 5, which infuriates both Musin and Karl. But here's my perspective. Because for me, the meat is not as important as to Musin. The salad is more important, which is kind of a very non-Turkish and probably controversial opinion to have. I think it's important to mention that Kösem got such a low rating, which it didn't as top 4, but still, mostly because of me. So I think I didn't like it that much because I didn't like the flaring of the meat, which again is controversial because that's how it's supposed to be like. Musin has a point here.
I think at that point you were really tired of eating kebab, and I think that Kösem got punched by you in terms of the scores. I think it didn't deserve that low of a score, but that's just my opinion.
I actually agree. I was about to mention that because I also think I really hit the wall at Kösem. It was bad. It was really bad. It was brutal, and I have to say it would be naive not to think that would in some way impact my score, which was quite low. So Kösem should definitely be higher up the score. Even though it's not my favorite at all, I would still put it at 4th, but I rated it too low, and that puts us overall lower than it should be. Also, I think we also have to mention another bias that is important to mention, that Musin hates cardamom in the meat. And in Copenhagen, apparently, there's a lot of cardamom in the meat. So some of the low rankings of the meat also has to do with cardamom being in the meat. Musin has a point again?
Yeah, so I think this comes from the difference between dürüm, the doner dürüm and shawarma dürüm, because shawarma, I think, more like Middle Eastern Arabic influenced kebabs, they have cardamom, and this is something that as a Turkish person I'm not used to, and I don't really like it because it's very overwhelming, and it really distracts me from the taste of the meat. And that's I cannot say something against people who like it, but I can actually say I think you suck, and your opinion doesn't really matter.
I would just like to mention a very important lowlight and something that should definitely be addressed in this scoring system, because even though
Stop.
Even though it doesn't matter too much, Durum Bar 2000 is on a 6th place, and that place sucked. It was so bad. Musin, I want you to talk a bit about it.
I was
Please
really
don't, guys.
waiting for this moment to come, because I think there's something really shady going on here. Karl, do you want to explain yourself. I think there's something really, really wrong with the score that he gave to that place. It really doesn't deserve the score. It doesn't deserve to be at 6th place, that's for sure. And I think anyone who has any taste buds, like even 1 or 2, would say the same thing. But my opinion is that you have some shady business going on with Durum Bar 2000. Would you like to explain yourself?
Preferably not.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay, yes. So preferably, I would like just to plead the 5th.
Okay, I will explain. What is happening here is that Karl really, really wants us to visit some random ass place called Kebab 2000.
No, Durum Bar 2000.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a shitty place. It's in Frederiksberg, which if you live in Copenhagen, you know. It's not even Copenhagen. It's some rich guy place where they probably have a lot of money, which is important for our conspiracy theory later on. We get there. We cycle for a long time. We get there. It sucks. The meat sucks. The kebab is dry. Maybe the salads is all right. I can't really remember. Shitty experience, right? Muslim and I, as the rational people we are like, well, this meat is just bad. Maybe 3 out of 10. Maybe 2 out of 10. We quite agree on the things. Then we go to Karl. 7 out of 10 on the meat.
Preposterous!
That is not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
Definitely not.
And it kind of throws the whole integrity of our championship rating off that something this horrible can happen.
So what I think happened is when we came up with this idea of a tournament and was choosing the places to go, Karl went to different places, talked to them, made shady agreements, and one of them, only one of them, in my opinion, agreed to this dirty business. And that was, you guessed it right, Durum Bar 2000. And they offered him some kind of payment. It can be money. It can be falafel, because he kept talking about falafel, how nice the falafel was. I don't know.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter, because definitely this shady, dark agreement made our Durum tournament very dirty. I feel really violated, and the results definitely show that.
It was a shocking thing that happened that I don't quite know how I feel about, and I don't know what it does to the whole Durum tournament. Okay, Karl,
I'd just like to say the whole thing. There wasn't any deals. There wasn't anything going on with Durum Bar 2000. It was just because I forced you to go this huge detour with me because I was so hyped about the place, because I felt it was amazing. So it was really embarrassing that the place just sucked. And I think that made me vote it higher. And my pride couldn't tolerate the meat being so bad, because I really found their falafels really good. But that doesn't matter, and that shouldn't raise the meat score. So I'm just sorry. I'm sorry for doing this.
But
for ruining the whole challenge.
Yeah, it's fine.
For being a monster.
Let me stress this. It's outrageous that Durum Bar 2000 is so high up. It's outrageous.
It should be really close to star midnight.
Yes, it's outrageous. That's how high Karl rated it.
All right, I think we should wrap this up with just a few points. I think we all agree that Star Midnight was the lowest point of this tournament. All of the ones that ranked high, we all like them. And of course, this list is not exhaustive in any way. You know, of course, we cannot go to all these places. In Copenhagen, there are like, I don't know how many, but like at least 100, several hundreds, I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Thank you very much, and
thank you so much for tuning in.
See you at the next kebab.
Just let us know your favorite kebab places if they were in our list. If they're not, maybe we should visit them in the second round, or we should do maybe a different tournament with a different food. Let us know in the comments, and thank you for tuning in. Any other comments, guys?
Hit the bell.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Eat kebab.
And see you next time.
See you next time. Have a good night.
Let's wrap it up. Just like a Dürüm.